My CEng journey with IET has been quite a long one, in the sense that it took several false starts to get my application together. I thankfully got a little bit of help when I joined the neurodiversity focus group, and I was introduced to other people who have neurodiverse conditions like dyslexia, which is what I have, and ADHD. One of them was really helpful. Mamta sat me down and gave me some really good pointers about putting together a plan and giving myself deadlines. And within a few months, I was actually ready to hit submit on that application. There was other people that helped. Obviously the focus group was there, and that was set up by Joe Foster, and it's now run by Laura Norton. But on top of that, there was PRAs that were really, really helpful. Richard Meadows deserves a gold star for being so patient with me, translating the competencies into my personal experience. So there's a lot of really useful and helpful people, as if you just learn how to ask, and that's the hard bit. Having dyslexia and ADHD makes the chartership journey quite daunting, but having people to make it easier really helps. In my work at BAE Systems, they really encourage people to get professionally registered, to get promotion, and to prove that they are competent engineers. It's a really easy way for them to assess how capable you are as an engineer, just seeing if you've got a chartership or if you're a technician or an IEng. People that have got a professional approach to engineering quite often follow these routes. It benefited my career. I got a promotion through work to being a senior engineer, because I already had taken the step to start my application. It's also benefited me through being able to mentor other folk, and also be able to speak to other people about what the professional registration process is, because there's a lot of people with neurodiverse conditions, and anybody that has things like dyslexia or ADHD, dyspraxia, these things can be aided and supported. The process can be supported with these conditions, as long as people disclose them and actually ask for the help. So it's been good for that, being able to talk to other folk about the struggles we have in that journey. My line manager when I joined at BAE was a fellow of the IET, and that's when I found out mechanical engineers can join the IET. But because of my information management background, it meant that worked better under the scope of the IET, and it just made sense to join, because my line manager explained what the IET does, and it's been really, really good experience, because from day one, as soon as I said I wanted a chartership, I had a mentor allocated to me almost immediately, and they were really supportive and really keen to make sure that I followed that process through to get my chartership. CPD's been really good for me because I've got ADHD and get bored easily, so I like to learn new stuff. My worst thing is getting bored, because once I lose interest, it's really hard for me to keep doing things. So CPD always helps develop, and it means that you have the chance to move up or sideways within a company like BAE, where we've got such a wide remit. We can move through the company, so I can learn new things. So yeah, CPD is a really good way to just show that you're interested, and also it's a good way to remind yourself that not to rest on your laurels, to just find something to expand. For anybody starting the registration process, it'd be a really good idea to sit down and give yourself a project plan. Look at what it is. There's easy wins and there's hard wins. The easy wins are things like collecting all your certificates together and photocopying them into a document. Career Manager's really well set up to split it into bite-sized chunks. The advice I was given is treat it like a project. So I gave myself deadlines. I set myself a time every week where I would sit down and do this. Even if I just spent 5 minutes at it, it's 5 minutes more that I didn't have to spend later on. And having that deadline, I missed it, but only by a couple of weeks. It wasn't like by months, whereas it took me 3 or 4 years to get to the point where I started giving myself deadlines. So that's 3 or 4 years that I could have been chartered beforehand, and I could have been working on something else if I'd actually had that advice 3 years previous.